What's happening, everybody? It is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. Today we're going to talk about the story The Fade Out by legendary creators Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. You may know Ed Brubaker's name from titles such as Gotham Central, Fatale, Killer Be Killed, X-Men, a whole bunch of titles, Daredevil, of course. And then Sean Phillips, you may know from pretty much everything he's done with Ed Brubaker. Titles like Sleeper, Fatale, Killer Be Killed. And let's take a closer look at this book. Before we get started, guys, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We post content daily, comics, hardcovers, live streams, all this fun stuff. Be sure to hit that like button as well. It really helps us out a lot. And comment down below. Let's start a conversation. Have you read this series? Do you like Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips? What other titles by them would you recommend to viewers of this video? We are sponsored by Dr. Squatch, an organic soap company. They're a subscription service. They also offer other men's healthcare products. There's a link down in the description below that will get you free shipping on your subscription for life. Check it out. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon, the Hardcover Comic. We're doing monthly giveaways of hardcover comics. It looks like this month it's going to be Harleen, the Deluxe hardcover. So very excited to give that away. We still need to do the drawing and all that, but there's a link down in the description below if you want to become a patron. Get all the details there. All right, so first of all, I absolutely love this book. It's a crime noir mystery story taking place in the late 40s. I believe it's 1948, 49, a couple of years maybe here or there. But it's a great era, and really this book is all about time travel, because when you read this book, it truly feels like you're in that era of time. The artwork, it completely takes you there. It takes place in Hollywood, so you're getting all the glitz and the glamour of the movie industry. The storyline follows basically two writers. You have Charles and you have Gil. Basically, throughout this story, you start finding out things about these characters. You start learning about their histories. But the book starts off, of course, it's a murder mystery. The book starts off with Charlie waking up hungover after a drunken party, having a good time, trying to figure out what happened, and he stumbles across a dead person. That person also happens to be one of the actors, actresses, I don't want to spoil anything, within a movie that he is currently the writer on. The problem is Charlie has writer's block. Why? You're going to have to find out yourself. But he's basically working with this guy named Gil. Gil is also not necessarily on the best of terms with everybody in Hollywood, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes, right? There are a lot of secrets being kept, a lot of things that have been swept under the rug, and it's really cool to see that all unravel as these characters fall deeper and deeper into this murder plot. We see things that we've kind of seen in the media recently happening in Hollywood, happening within this book. Producers and executives abusing their power with female actresses and even male actors. So it's really interesting to see how that parallels with things that we've been, getting confirmation on in the recent news and media. It's really dark, it's really creepy, but it's really, really well done. Like I mentioned, Ed Brubaker has done a whole bunch of titles like this: Criminal, Incognito, Fatale, Killer Be Killed. The Fade Out is what Brubaker does best. He absolutely crushes it with this book. You feel like you're being transported through time. All the characters have such fascinating personalities, and they're all crafted so well. You can clearly tell that there was a lot of thought put into every character, the way they act, the way they speak, the way, even the way their facial expressions tell things throughout a story. It's really fascinating. And of course, Sean Phillips plays a huge part in that. His artwork is incredible. This is a book that did win an Eisner Award, and it rightfully deserves it. It's an incredible, incredible story that keeps you guessing at every turn. And honestly, at the end of it, really shows you how dark and creepy Hollywood was back in the day, because I don't doubt that this was completely fictional. I'm sure there were things like this happening all the time, and it's really, really cool to see and sort of experience in this way, because these two creators are the best at this sort of book. This is what they've been doing together for years and years, so it's not a surprise that this was knocked out of the park. So as with all Image hardcovers, you get a dust jacket-less hardcover book here with a nice graphic design. It's a very solid book. It's very nice. It's built to last, like a lot of hardcovers are nowadays. It's just really nice. It feels very solid in your hands. You have to excuse my beaten up copy from Amazon. You know how they ship. It's not great. So for those of you that are curious, this is a deluxe edition, and what that means is, for one, it collects the entire story, and in this case anyway, and number two, it's oversized. So the pages are a little bigger than a standard size hardcover comic, or any comic in general. So just really briefly talking about the front cover, it's absolutely amazing. This is sort of what you're in for with the story. Very, again, late 40s. On the back, you just get sort of a brief description of the title, very ambiguous, nicely done. You get a couple quotes sort of talking about how awesome it is, and then you get the cover price, $50 US, different in Canada. And to start things off, you get, a little table of contents. So you're looking at just over 400 pages with this book. You get an introduction by Ed Brubaker saying how he doesn't like to do introductions, and then you dive right into the story, right? So it is separated by chapter, so basically each issue, and then you get bonus content in the back, which we'll dive into in a little bit. The paper is extremely nice. I really, really like this paper. It's very thick, and even though there are nice white borders, you don't see through them like you do with some other hardcover titles. Of course, with the big white borders, you also don't get a lot of gutter loss, which is great. Even though the binding is quite good, it sits open really nicely. It's a bit heavy to hold if you have to hold it, but that's just a sacrifice you have to make sometimes. And as you're seeing, man, the oversized pages are great for the amazing Sean Phillips artwork. He packs so much into a panel sometimes. It's quite incredible. There are these amazing painted looking scenes where you have Charlie remembering something in his past, and he's trying to remember a foggy memory, and it looks foggy, and you've got this smoke rising, and it looks really cool. And of course, that it's a real time traveling book. You literally, every single page makes you feel like you're reading a book in a different time. It's really awesome. It's really well done. It's a big achievement to make a story about regular people, something that not a lot of people want to read about nowadays, interesting. I mean, it's tough for me. I personally don't know if I necessarily want to pick up a book and start reading a book about people's lives or like a murder mystery, but man, the way this grabs you there, it's undeniable. It's an undeniably good story. So taking a look at the bonus content here, you get a cover art gallery, which is really nice. There are really cool covers here, a lot of portraits, really interesting coloring job as well. It's great. You get to see a little bit of everybody in the universe. You get a little preview that was done, sort of like a trailer comic, essays and illustrations. It's pretty cool. There's a decent amount of bonus content here. It's a title that a lot of people were interested in, and it's something, it's an interesting era to explore, definitely. And I'm glad that it was two gentlemen like Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips that got to do it. I highly recommend checking this out if you're looking for something different. If you know someone that you think would enjoy comics but maybe not necessarily superhero comics, this is a great book for them. It's a great book on sort of the nature of the human, what's happening sort of in Hollywood and all that, at least from the perspective of a writer, and it's great. Hopefully your copy is not as badly damaged as mine. I don't think this is a difficult to find book. I apologize, I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure you can grab this on Amazon or in stock trades for the $25-27. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. The notification bell will let you know whenever we post a new video or go live, and then hit the like button as well. It really helps us out. We are sponsored by Dr. Squatch. They're a subscription service offering men's healthcare products, primarily organic soaps without parabens and chemicals. Also, check out our Patreon. We're doing hardcover comic giveaways every month. Our first one for the Harleen hardcover is happening now. Very exciting stuff. Patreon.com/the hardcover comic. Thank you all very much for tuning in. This was Mike from the Hardcover Comic. As always, until next time, you stay classy, Internet.